Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Global English 1 students. How are you guys feeling this week? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? Are you feeling sad? I know many people are sad, but at least spring is here. The cherry blossoms arrive, so that's nice. Most of us have to stay inside, but at least we can go out a little bit if there's not too many people. Well, I'm back with you again. Your regular professor, Toji Kyosu, is back here today to teach you. We're going to be talking about free time today. That's the theme of chapter 2. We're going to go over in a little bit in chapter 3. We're on week 4. I'm trying to catch you guys up. As you can see in the picture, there's a picture of a cafe and people eating. Do you remember that? Do you remember when we used to be able to go out and eat food? Those were good times, right? I know nowadays it seems pretty dark. It seems very sad, but I know someday we're gonna be back in the cafe eating, drinking, and having fun. Just wait, right? Just wait. So, without further ado, let's have our lesson begin. So you guys, how are you holding up? How are you holding up? So holding up means like, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? How's your mind? Is your mind okay? Is your body okay? Are you feeling okay? Are you getting enough exercise? Are you getting enough exercise? Well, I know these days it's very difficult to exercise. You know, in the Namsol gym, we don't have any way to exercise. The gym is closed, and many gyms in Korea are closed, right? Because of COVID-19. As you know, even our university is going to be closed for at least another week. So at least another week is going to be online. Are you able to meet friends and family? Well, today I went out and I was surprised. There were so many people in the cafe. I'm a little bit worried about it. I think people are getting too easy to go out. But I hope that you're able to spend at least a little bit of time with your friends and your family in this terrible time. Do you feel gloomy or do you feel good? Well, I think hopefully you guys are young, so you're feeling pretty good and the weather's getting better. What are your plans coming up for next week? What are your plans coming up for next week? Some people are able to meet their girlfriend or boyfriend. Some people are able to meet some friends and go out drinking. But most people are staying away from big groups of people. How about you? Do you have any big plans? If you have some big plans, I'd like you to send me an email and talk to me about them. I like to get to know you guys, and I hope that I'm getting to know you guys. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please upload your profile homework to our class portal page. Please upload your profile to our class portal page. Okay. All right, so okay. Today's agenda. What's agenda? Well, agenda means something that we have to do. Something that we have to do for today. So our class agenda is to do vocabulary on page 14. We're going to handle vocabulary. I think that I gave that to you for homework. So basically, we'll just be checking it and talking about it. Then we're going to have a vocabulary matching game. Well, I like to play this game in class, but we don't have any time to do it in class because you guys are not here. So I'm just going to do it on the screen and you guys can watch and you can sort of play along in your home. We're going to look at page 23, the grammar used to and gerunds. So we're going to talk about using used to and we're going to talk about gerunds. And those are words like verbs that end in ing. And we're going to do some practice with used to and we're going to wrap up everything. We're going to wrap up everything and finish everything. Hopefully answer any questions that you have. All right. Again, if you do have questions, don't forget, send me an email. I like to hear from you guys. If you don't understand something, send me an email. And don't forget to ask other students in the class, because sometimes they know something that you don't know. Maybe they can explain it to you in Korean better than I can explain it to you in English. Okay. So don't forget, ask a lot of people and ask me if it's very, very important. You can always send a Kakao message. I can answer it, but try an email first. That usually works. Okay? So vocabulary. Let's look at our vocabulary. I think we did not talk about these questions yet, so look at this picture. So that picture, match it to the vocabulary on page 14. Which vocabulary word do you think that this picture matches? You can see this loving father, and it looks like his father too, holding two babies. This kind of picture is common all over the world, right? So what's happening in this picture? What do you think is happening in this picture? Well, it looks like this father is similar to his son, right? And that they're both similar to the two babies. They look like twins, right? So which vocabulary is this like? Well, hint, it's a verb, 동사. So if it's a verb, what is it? That's right, it's to take after, to take after. So that is I, to look or be like someone, to resemble. So to take after is to be like somebody in your family. So in your family, who do you take after? Do you look like mom or do you look like dad? Maybe you don't look like mom or dad, but you look like some grandfather or grandmother or uncle. Who do you act like? Sometimes we don't act like anybody, but often we have some similar personality to our mom or our dad, to an uncle or to a cousin. Who do you take after? Or maybe you're a mix of both mom and dad. I'm not sure. It's different for everybody, right? So to take after, I take after my mom personally. I'm similar in my face and my personality to my mom because maybe when I was young, I spent more time with my mom than my dad. How about yourself? Next picture. So I've circled it here. This is a kind of family tree because I think it was kind of hard to illustrate this one, but a cousin is somebody who is the child of your uncle or aunt. It can be uh, a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, but it's definitely going to be somebody who's the cousin of your, I'm sorry, the daughter or son of your uncle or aunt. Your uncle or aunt is either your mom or dad's brother and sister. So it's A, the son or daughter of your aunt or uncle. So in Korean, you have a lot of different words for uncle and aunt, like imo, right? In English, we just have aunt and uncle, whether it's your mom's brother and sister or your dad's brother and sister. It's just uncle or aunt. We used to have different ones like a 1,000 years ago, but we don't have anymore, just uncle or aunt, okay, when we're talking about cousins. And we have second cousin and third cousin. Maybe in Korean it's just cousin, but we'll say second cousin or third cousin to talk about like your other relatives who are a little bit more distant from you. Okay, look at that face. You know who that actor is, right? Who is that actor? Yes, you know that is actor and former singer Will Smith. How does his face look there? Well, some people might say his face looks handsome, but something else. How does his personality look there? He probably looks serious to you. Well, serious can have many different meanings, but we're also hopefully taking the COVID-19 situation very seriously, right? So the meaning is careful, giving a lot of attention to someone or to something. Okay, so the midterm is a very serious assignment in our class. The midterm is a very serious assignment in our class. How about this one? What's happening there? What does his face look like? He is puzzled. Puzzled. So what is a puzzle? Well, a puzzle is something like a game or a problem that you try to solve, you try to fix. So puzzle is something, so to be confused about something. F, to be confused about something. Some students were very puzzled about the how to turn in your profile homework. For your profile homework, you just go to our website. After you make your ID, you log in, go to Assignments, 과제물, click it, click Profile Assignment, and upload your assignment to the page. So if you were puzzled, it's very, very simple. Very, very simple, okay? Not too hard to do. Please take your time. If you don't know, ask another student in the class or send me a message. But I think most of you should be able to figure it out. Okay, what's this one look like to you? Which vocabulary word does this one match? Talkative, that's right, talkative. So talkative is tending to talk a lot. Tending means acting, so usually talking a lot. Would you say that you're a talkative person? One of the saddest parts, it really breaks my heart, is we don't get to have class very much. We don't get to talk, and one of my favorite things is talking to students in class. And maybe one of your favorite things is talking to professor. Usually students will tell me that their favorite class is my class because they can be more free and they can talk a lot. But other students who are not talkative, maybe they're a little bit shy, they might not like my class very much, and that's fine. Everybody's different and has a different personality. But generally, talkative students, students who like to talk a lot, they do very well in my class. Not always, but usually that's the case. Okay. So ask yourself, what kind of person are you? Are you a talkative person? Do you like talking in class? Do you enjoy talking in class? I definitely do, but talking into a PowerPoint, into a PPT, talking is not that fun, to be honest. I wish I was talking to you guys. How about this one? Look at that mom. Is your mom like that? What's her face look like? What's that mom's face look like? If you can pick a vocabulary word. Mhm. Well, moms can be like this, teachers can be like this, professors, doctors. strict. It's a 형용사, an adjective. It's an adjective, 형용사, so it describes a noun. Strict people, strict teacher, strict mother. Was your mother strict when you were growing up, or 앞반대, lenient? My mom was half and half. Strict means following the rules exactly. So nowadays, with COVID-19, doctors and medical officials in Korea are being very strict. I hope everyone is following their rules so this pandemic can be finished very soon. Finished very soon, right? What about this? This is another thing I really, really miss, right? It looks like such a fun dinner. I think that's Italy. It is gathering. Gathering. So gathering, what is gathering in Korean? Maybe like 만남, right? A meeting, a kind of meeting. Are you guys sad you can't meet people for gatherings anymore? I think in countries like Korea and China and Italy and Greece, the gathering is very, very important, right? Eating is like a social activity. So I think it's very unfortunate that countries like Korea and Italy, where gathering and meeting people is really important, they have COVID-19. In America, gatherings are not as important, and American people kind of like to be alone. But nowadays, people are getting really tired of being home alone all the time, watching Netflix and looking at Instagram. So I hope that after the semester's finished, I can meet all of you and we can have a big gathering, a big 회식, going out together. It's one of the things I really miss. But anyways, gathering is a 명사. It's a noun. We can use gather also as 동사, as a verb, but in this case, we mean a noun. We had a big family gathering in the summer. Okay. Okay, I've got a family tree here encircled. Since it's so hard to illustrate this, I've circled niece. I've circled niece. What's a niece? Well, a niece is only a girl. A niece is a daughter of your brother or sister. Do any of you have nieces yet? Maybe not because you're pretty young, but usually I have a couple of students who have a niece or a nephew. Nephew is the boy. Niece is the girl. I don't have any nieces yet, but I really would like one. Sometimes I think having a niece is better than having a daughter because you don't really have to take care of her, right? You can just play with her and buy her things. So maybe some of you would really prefer to have a niece more than a son or a daughter, right? This chapter has a lot of family words. Just remember what is the difference between niece and nephew. Nephew is a boy, niece is a girl. Can you guys hear something beeping? That's my rice cooker going off. I'm making rice today. Next slide is, well, this one's a little bit hard. What is that picture of? What are they showing? It's a kind of metaphor. 비유, right? What is that? Open-minded. So open-minded, 반대, close-minded. Close-minded. So the opposite of it is closed-minded. So what does open-minded mean? Can you give me an example of something or someone that is open-minded? Well, it's willing to consider new ideas. Willing to consider new ideas. So I think sometimes, if you go to another country and you want to try different foods, you love to try different foods, you're very open-minded person. If you go to another country and maybe you just want to eat Shin Ramyeon, I know many students do that, then maybe about food at least you are a kind of close-minded person. How about yourself? You consider yourself open-minded or close-minded? Everybody's kind of different. What do you think? This one's kind of easy, right? What are they doing? Well, the answer is already written up there. It means to legally, like legal, become husband and wife. 결혼, right? Is to marry, to get married or marry. How about you guys? Would you like to be married? Nowadays, many people, especially women, are telling me they don't want to be married. They don't want to be married. Um, how about you? Is this something you think about? It's maybe pretty far in the future for you guys, right? So you don't have to think about it too much. But some students I know nowadays are getting tired of thinking about marriage. They don't even want to worry. They just want to be free, right? They prefer to be free. Okay, so we've gotten through our vocabulary here. I hope you've checked them all off on page 14 and answered the questions on the bottom. What we're going to look at now, we're going to try to do a little vocabulary game, and I haven't played this game in a while, so I might not know all the answers. Hopefully that it works on your PowerPoint. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to include a link. I'm going to upload the PowerPoint as well onto the website so you can view it there, okay? Okay, so here is our memory match game for the vocabulary in Unit 2. Okay, so we've got all of these here. One of them is a picture, and we have to match it to the word. We have to match it to the word. So you guys can play along with me at home, especially if you can download this game from our website and look at it. Okay, so let's pick the first one. Which one should we pick first? How about right in the middle, J? To take after. Okay, take after. Let's see. Which one should we pick to match it with? How about T? Does it fit? Oh no, it says niece. To take after and niece don't fit. Okay, how about, let's try another one here. F. What is that? It's Einstein. What's an adjective that describes Einstein's face in there? Well, he's holding what? It looks like he's holding a cube, right? We call in English a Rubik's Cube. So let's see if we can find what that might fit, right? I think the answer is puzzled. So let's see if we can find where puzzled is. Oh, nope, that's not it either. But what is this? It looks like open-minded. So if we see open-minded, remember it's down here at the bottom, right? Okay, Let's see, we haven't chosen this yet. Strict. Strict. How about here? It's Prince Charles and Prince William. That doesn't fit. That's probably take after, right? Since they're father and son. Okay. Well, to some kids, it looks like it's probably cousins, right? Cousins. So let's try and see if we can find cousin. There, cousin, we got one. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, okay. So hopefully you guys are playing along with me on yours. We got one, so that's 1 point. Let's try another, okay? S, Mary. Can we find Mary? Yes, Mary. Ding, 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 ding. He's giving the ring. It's a custom, right? Give the ring. Okay. President Obama, he looks very serious there, right? Can we find it? Oh, gathering. Nope, that's not it. Strict. Where was strict? Do you remember? I think it was it J? Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. Strict. Strict. Ding, 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 ding. So this teacher looks very strict, very angry. Talkative. So I need to find talkative. Where's talkative at? Maybe under T? Nope, there's niece. Okay, open-minded again. Maybe O? Nope, that's a gathering. Do you remember where gathering was? There's puzzled again. Serious. Well, we know where serious was here, right? There's talkative. Do you remember where talkative was? Nope. Puzzled and puzzled. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. You guys probably remember better than me, and I made this. Believe it or not, I made it. Serious. President Obama looks very serious here. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. To take after. Oh, gathering. Missed it again. I can't remember where it is myself. There is niece. Gathering. Well, there was talkative, right? So where, do you remember where talkative is? Talkative. Talkative. We've matched them. Of course, she's blah, 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 blahing. Take after. Gathering again. Gathering and gathering. It looks like a family gathered, right? Open-minded. Do you remember where open-minded was? There it is. Yes. Okay, so niece is here, and take after, where did we put it, right? Take after was here somewhere. Oh, right below it, right? Okay. So, okay. Yeah, it's not that fun doing it on the PowerPoint. I understand. It's so much fun when we have teams who are playing it in class. But at least if you do this, especially if you do it by yourself, it's going to help you to remember the words and their meanings easier. Okay? Got it? So take some time and do it. I'm going to leave the link below for you guys to check out, or leave it on the class web page. It's pretty fun in class and students usually get into it. And I like making these games, to be honest. I really like to make them. Okay. So let's look at page 22 in your book. What do you like to do? So we're talking about activities. At the top, it talks about gerunds. What do you like to do? What do you hate to do? And they talk about gerunds use a verb plus another verb plus ing. So I hate studying. I enjoy studying. I love snowboarding. I don't mind exercising at the gym. So I don't mind means I like it or I don't hate it. Okay. So what do you like to do in your life? What do you hate to do? In the future, I'm going to give you a homework assignment where I want to have you make a video of you talking about things you like and hate. Okay. Things that you like and things that you hate. And I want you to be able to use this form of the verb. So please, if you haven't already, read the top of page 22. Okay, sometimes we do this in class, but we can take a look at it right now. It says, ask your partner these questions with the prompts and answer with the book. It says, do you like gardening? No, I like hiking. Well, let's use the first verb here. Do you enjoy running? Yes, I enjoy running myself. I like to run. These days I can't run at the gym, but I do run at the mountain. How about you guys? Do you enjoy running? Some of my students said they do not enjoy moving their body, right? Do you hate doing the laundry? Well, some of you don't have to do laundry. Maybe mom does it, right? I don't like to do it, especially when it's cold outside and my laundry machine is on the veranda. Do you love singing? I know some of you guys, if you go noraebang, you have a couple of sojus. I know you really love singing. You love singing, right? I don't really love it, but I like to do it at noraebang. What do we call noraebang in English? Do you know? Usually we call it karaoke. Because Americans, we got karaoke from Japan, so we use the Japanese word. But I know in China they use the Chinese word, in Vietnam they use the Vietnamese word, and in Korea they use noraebang. I'm sad we cannot go to noraebang now. And do you like going to the movies? I do like going to the movies myself, but I also like to sit home and watch Netflix. What's your favorite movie food? I like to eat pizza and watch a movie. How about yourself? Okay, we'll look at the bottom. We're going to talk about the verb used to. Used to. So used to plus a verb shows that a certain event or state always happened, or it was happening in the past but no longer happens now. We used to be able to go out and go to cafes, but now we can't. I used to live in Paris. She used to be friendly. I used to love going to class and talking to my students, but now I can't. I used to live in Gangnam, but now I live in Cheonan. Okay. We'll look at the bottoms. In the bottom it says ask your partner these questions with the prompts and answer with them. Okay. So we're not going to do those right now because I think they're not really very useful, especially when we don't have to do them in class. We're going to look at something else that I think is important for you guys. Instead of saying I used to live in Seoul, or no, I used to work in Taiwan, I used to study at a cafe, instead of that, we're going to look at some rules about this. We're going to look at some rules about this. So rules, remember, it's used to show something used to happen in the past, but does not happen anymore. So you can see this harmony in the top. She says, I didn't used to wear glasses, but I wear glasses now. Of course, when you get old, your eyesight gets bad and you need to wear glasses. The man says, I used to go to the theater very often when I was young, but I don't go now. Okay, so that means that the event not only happened in the past, but is finished. So if you used to go to the theater a lot and you still go, you don't say used to. It means that that action is done. You don't do it anymore. Used to. So this is the kind of question I'm definitely going to ask on the midterm. We use the expression used to talk about past things we did but no longer do now. So again, past, present, future. The X's are on past for something that's no longer done. S plus used to plus the verb. Now we have the positive form. That means did it. I, you, he, she, it, we, they used to play tennis. So 动词, the verb is play. The object is tennis. Of course, you know, in Korean, right, tennis is the object that goes in the middle of the sentence. So, right, 우리는 테니스를 놀자, right? 단다. I'm not sure what is the verb you use for tennis in Korean. In English, of course, the verb goes before the object. The verb goes before the object. And used to goes before the verb. Example sentences. Jisoo used to play toy cars, but he doesn't play now. Sohyun used to eat meat, but now she's a vegetarian. So she used to enjoy eating meat in the past, but that stopped. She's a vegetarian. 채식주의자. So she doesn't care about it anymore. She doesn't eat it anymore. Yuka used to be fat, but he's thin now. William used to eat chocolate a lot, but she doesn't eat now. Boyoung used to watch TV very often, but she doesn't watch now. Okay, these are all things that have finished, that are no longer true. We use used to plus the verb in the object. Okay, used to again. In old days, 옛날에, people used to listen to gramophone records. Like a record is like a, you know, like a big disc to listen to music. I still listen to them. I don't listen to gramophone, but I still listen to them because I think it sounds better than MP3 or MP4 or whatever. But in old days, everybody used to use them. Okay, yeah, I like that. I have a lot of those. Now, well, now they listen to CD players, but even now we don't even listen to CDs, right? Most people are listening to MP3s. So now we don't even, maybe MP3 player, or you listen on your iPhone or on your Galaxy, right? I still have some CDs, but I don't think CDs sound good, but I think records still sound good, better than MP3. But I'm a rock and roll fan, so maybe that's why I think rock and roll sounds better on a disc. Rock and roll shouldn't be too clear, but it depends what kind of music. Classical music might be kind of different. I like to listen to MP3. CDs, I have just a few now. What about you guys? Maybe you're too young for any of it, right? But I know some students, they collect CDs. In old days, women used to wash their dirty clothes by hand. I know in Korea, not that long ago, right? Just like maybe 40 years ago, people did it. And some people in America still do it. I think sometimes it's more useful. When I go on holiday in another country and I don't have a washing machine, I often wash my clothes by hand. How about you guys? I think it's more useful to wash the clothes by hand sometimes. You can get them cleaner and it doesn't damage your clothes. Like that, right? But I don't do it outside in the river like in the Cheonggyecheon. I do it in my sink if I really want to get them clean. Now they use a washing machine, right? Everybody uses now mostly. Well, this picture actually is the dryer. I don't see them too much in Korea, but I use them if I go to the laundromat, like a setak place. Um, but yeah. And the negative form, of course, is I, you, he, she, it, we, they didn't used to play tennis. Example sentence, Ali didn't used to watch horror films, but he watches them now. So he used to not like them, but now he loves them. Mi-young didn't used to speak Spanish, but she speaks now. My family didn't used to eat fast food, but we eat fast food now. How about you guys? Do you like fast food? Nowadays, people are eating more fast food because they want to get it takeout and leave. They don't want to eat in a nice restaurant. They don't want to go to the supermarket. I do both. Actually, I'm the vegetarian, 채식주의자, so nowadays Lotteria got the new vegetarian miracle burger, and it's very delicious. I admit, even during COVID-19, I got the Pojang 채식 burger from Lotteria. Very 맛있어. I recommend it. My family, people didn't used to use credit cards for shopping, but they use it now. Do you guys have credit cards? In America, it's very, very easy to get a credit card. I think too easy. I like Korea better for that. Nicole didn't used to have long hair last year, but she's got a long hair now. She's got long hair now. That's a mistake. You should say long hair now, not a long hair. My mistake. Sometimes teachers make mistakes too. Okay. Didn't used to. People didn't used to communicate through mobile phones. They used to communicate through telegraphs. You guys know the telegraph? It was a kind of older method, right, of communicating. So that's a Joseon phone, right? But you see it's an LG, and people used to use those, but no longer do. And they used to use a telegraph. There's a machine like that where you sort of tap, tip, 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 SOS, and people can communicate like that. Women didn't used to wash their clothes with the washing machine. They used to wash their clothes by hand. Question form. Okay, questions. So we have to ask a question this way. Did I, you, he, she, it, we, they used to play tennis? Yes, we did. No, we didn't. So did Yesim used to go to school with her mother when she was in primary school? Yes, she did. Did Goksel used to wear a tie when he was in high school? Yes, he did. Did people used to eat frozen food? No, they didn't. Did children used to play computer games 30 years ago? No, they didn't. Well, maybe about 30 years ago we started to play, right? I was just a baby. Did you used to fly a kite when you were a child? Yes, I did. Fly a kite. I think every generation still uses a kite, right? What is kite in Korean? Do you guys know kite? What is it? Anybody can answer? This is where I like to ask my students a question in class, but unfortunately I can't. I think kite in Korean is called yon, right? Yon, like the thing that flies in the sky. We fly a kite. Did people used to travel by horse carriages? Yes, they did, right? Horse carriages. Did people used to use a calculator to make calculations? No, they didn't. Well, they still do, right? Okay, so can you make sentences this way? Positive sentences? Grandfather tell evening stories the my. Take a minute, pause this, and see if you can figure it out. Pause the recording and see if you can figure it out. My grandfather used to tell stories in the evenings. Uncle Vegetable's garden to grow his in. Pause the recording again. His uncle used to grow vegetables in the garden. Pause again. My grandmother used to make bread at home. Pause one more time, or two more times maybe. We used to visit neighbors and relatives more often. We used to visit neighbors and relatives more often. By carriage's horse, we somewhere go. Well, what's a carriage? You guys remember what is a carriage in Korean? Well, a carriage is something that a horse can pull usually. I think in Korean it's called makcha, like a horse pulls it, right? So pause it and figure it out. We used to go somewhere by horse carriages. Okay, guys, I promise. And we can make sentences this way. My grandfather used to tell stories in the evening. My grandfather didn't used to tell stories in the evening. His uncle used to grow vegetables in the garden. His uncle didn't used to grow vegetables in the garden. My grandmother used to make bread at home. My grandmother didn't used to make bread at home. We used to visit neighbors and relatives more often. We didn't used to visit neighbors and relatives more often. We used to go somewhere by horse carriages. We didn't used to go somewhere by horse carriages. And we can make sentences by questions. We don't have to go through all of them. I don't want you guys to be gone too long, but at least that you can understand how these questions are made. So for instance, number 3, my grandmother used to make bread at home. Did your grandmother used to make bread at home? Okay, so let's use these exercises on used to. 20 years ago lived in Seoul, but today live in Busan. 20 years ago was a teacher, but now retired, finished work. 20 years ago was thin, but now overweight. 20 years ago I had black hair, but now I have white hair. 20 years ago we had a dial phone, we had a phone at home, but today we have a mobile phone. So Taeyong used to live in Seoul, but he lives in Busan now. Nick used to be a teacher, but he's retired now. Harry used to be thin, but he's overweight now. Takeshi used to have black hair, but he has white hair now. Jose used to have a dial phone, but he has a mobile phone now. And the same is true here. Except we make it a negative by adding that auxiliary verb didn't. And we can change it to questions. Where did Taeyong used to live 20 years ago? He used to live in Istanbul 20 years ago. And here you guys can give yourself a little quiz. We're not going to go over it, but I want you to give yourself a little quiz and see how many you can get right, because on the test I'm going to put some questions like this. Okay, your answers. This is good practice to find out how well you understand it. If you didn't get any right, go back and check and look at your answers again. Take a minute, you can pause again. See which ones you got right. And for your homework, I want you to do page 22 and 23. Well, we've already really done 23, so just do page 22. That's your vocabulary for homework, okay? Okay, so don't forget, please upload your profile to our class website. The midterm is coming up, midterm test on April 20th, or the week of April 20th. So if you have class on April 20th, it'll be that week. It's going to be online on our class website, the same place where you put your profile. 50 questions, and all are from the vocabulary and grammar in units 1 through 4. Got it? Have any questions, send me an email. Again, I really want to get to know you guys, so send me emails, send me messages. I look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget, upload your profile so I can know you better. Okie dokie? Okay, guys, have a good week. Fighting!